there, it's Amanda here from Lolli Crafts, and today I am making a card that I had this idea that I wanted to make like a shirt and bow tie card, and I was thinking about how to do this because I wanted it to be like 3D, kind of like putting like the collar on, etc. So I was looking on Cricut and just trying to find some different elements. What I'm going to do first of all for this card, so it's really kind of making it up as we go along. So we're going into images, and I want to just do cards, because I just want a plain card base, and I want it to be one of mine. So how do I ownership? Here we go. So purchased, so I don't have to buy it, and I just want a basic simple card. Okay, so that was an effort and a half, but I finally found one. You would think that it would be the easiest thing in the world to do. So what I have done is actually put it on here as a save so that I can find it again. I found it in Creative Cards image set, what used to be the cartridges, I guess. So I found it in there, and there was quite a lot of different ones in there, and the layers and the envelopes, etc., to go with it as well. So I've saved that. So we will now add, I've also added a sentiment that I found, so I shall add that to the canvas to amongst all the other things that are on there. So the first thing I want to do is actually ungroup this. So we're going to go up there and ungroup it, so we can get rid of said envelope and the mat, because I literally just want the envelope, and I want that to be 5 by 7. If you're doing a specific measurements wide and high, and therefore if you have this bit locked, when you adjust one measurement, it adjusts the other one in proportion to keep it proportionate. So what I want to do in order to make sure I get exactly what I want is I want to take that lock off and do each measurement separately. So the height I want to be 7, not 5, and the width obviously is double because it's 2 halves of the card. So we want 5 for the front and 5 for the back. So 5 for this bit and 5 for this bit, so a total of 10. There we go, and then lock it again. Okay, so I don't want the happy birthday right now. That's not something I want. The next thing I need to do is start playing around with this, because I kind of like the collar part of this, and to use this as a section that's going to be 3D'd off the card. So we're going to go into shapes. And you'll see here it's coming up, but there's some that are free, and then there's a whole heap that are not free, unless you've got your subscription. So you don't get that many, but you get enough. You get the basics. So we're going to grab a square. So I want, I think 6.75, so 6 3/4 for the height, and I want 4.75 for the width, like so. So that's a 1/4 inch off each, and it doesn't really matter that it's not centralized. Do this twice, once in black or once in white, and I think the easiest thing is to have a one piece and then cut it down the center somehow. Use this line. Let's make sure it's nice and long. So then we're going to highlight that line and highlight that, and then we're going to align center horizontally. That's currently says score. So let's put that to basic cut line. We need to make it the same length. So let's change that to 6.75. And then align like so. And then we want to attach because I want that to cut that in half. So we want that there, and then I want to duplicate that, but I want to make that black. Okay, so that's going on there, like so. I don't know if the card's going to be grey, but it's good enough for now. Then this is going to go on top of that. No, it's not. I need to think about how I'm going to do this, but it's... Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this forward first of all. Oh, I said move backward. I meant to move to front. There we go. I'm going to do this over the white just so that I can see it, because it's the same. Oh, lordy, that's big. Okay. So we're going to need to unlock it because the dimensions are not really fantastic. We don't need to worry about, that's a bit too wide. We don't need to worry about the bow tie because that's going to be gone. I'm not going to be using that. So that looks fine. So let's bring that there. Let's bring that up. Let's make it a bit bigger for a minute so we can see. And then I want to go to the contour button down here. And I want to see, first of all, I want to get rid of that. I want to get rid of that, and I want to get rid of that, and I want to get rid of that. So that's what I really wanted to be able to do, was cut that inner section so that this was black as well, and then the white showed through. Okay, so I don't know whether this will work, but let's have a go. So what I want to do is duplicate that layer first of all. I am going to make it a different color just so it's easy to see. Whoa, that's easy to see. And then I'm going to see if I just put this over that and used slice it, I think that's what they call it, then it will cut all of it out, so you'll end up with this outside edge also cut, which is not really good enough because the black would be a little bit close and you would see underneath the white. What we really want is the black to come as close to this inner edge only. So what I was thinking was, if I played around with the sizing, whether we could make it work. See, it doesn't really matter what happens on this part because that bit's going to be chucked away anyway. It's only this outer section we want to be correct. Okay, so what we want is, this is the bit that we're keeping down here. So it's going to come up to there, but we obviously don't want it to come out from there. So we need to cut it to come up here. So we want a shape. So line it up to the same angle as that, but we want it to come, we want it slightly more like that, so that it comes up to that point. I need to make this bigger so I can see the point properly. That's what I thought, we weren't quite there. Let's go even bigger. So you can see here we're matching up that point because that's the best that we can do there, and then we need to just angle this around, which just screwed up my point, but anyway. And what we're trying to do is keep that within that black, but obviously at this point there's not anything spare, so it's got to meet up. So that's fine, and then we need to duplicate that and do the same on the other side, but like so. I think that's good enough. Okay, so we want the red and that red, and we want to weld those together so we get a weird shape, but we've got our shape. So then we want to take that over to here, which is really hard to see. So let's then take that, and we want to align it center horizontally, slightly above. You can see the little points are just very slightly above. So then we want to highlight that, and then we want to I wanted to slice, but I think it won't let me because that's one thing, it's got a line in it. So let's detach the line for the minute. Yeah, it wouldn't let me slice it with that there, but we can come back to that. So now we're going to slice. Okay, we don't want these little bits, do we? Okay. So I want is to get rid of this middle section. Okay, we're getting there. Having to slice it, dice it, but we're getting there. And this is often, I'm with this, sometimes I'm find that it is a bit like this where you have to fiddle about, which is why I put these on the website for you to download so that it's already done and you don't have to worry about doing it. I didn't want that shape. Why did I use that shape? I want that shape, I think. Let's unlock. Okay, and then click on that, click slice. And we should, whoops, now have right. So now we need to make this smaller because I can't see a darn thing. But in theory, oh, we are going to so have to make that a different colour for the minute because I cannot tell whether. Oh, yay. Let's bring him to the front. Oh, now I've made it too small. Yeah, there you go. So now what we have is we have the collar sufficiently in position that it's not showing any of the background. So that's fabulous. So let's take this one out the way. Gosh, that was a fiddle, wasn't it? Let's take that one. We don't need that anymore. This and our line. Let's just make sure they're aligned correctly. And then we want to attach, because I do want that to slice down the center so that it has the effect of creating that button front. And then we need to position this. Oh, we've done it to the back again. It's because we did the line. We need to send that to the front. I need to zoom in a bit because that's not quite right at the top. It's close enough. Then we need to make that black. which is kind of weird because it does not show. But I need it to be the black. And then I need to make this smaller again. And then we need to group it. And then we need to move that over to here, which is looking pretty central. So that's that done. So now we need our bow tie now. So we've got different options here with the bow tie. The first one, boom, that's gone. Oh, and I tell you what else we've got. We've got this happy birthday, which, where's he gone? He's gone for a wander. What the heck? Oh God, I don't want you anymore. Right, we've got this happy birthday. So what I want to do is create a layer to go on the inside to put that on, because I really like that. So I need a shape, I need a square. I don't want rounded, I don't think, so we'll do that. We want it to be unlocked because we want it wide. 5, no we don't, we want it 4.75 by 6.75. There we go. And then we'll put the happy birthday, arrange center front. Easiest thing to do with this is to align center. I think I would prefer it a little higher actually. And then you've got to attach it. Don't forget, when you've got any kind of text or one of these lines for scoring or cutting, you need to attach it so that it knows that it belongs to that piece of paper. And obviously that will be on the inside of our card. So we'll just pop that there for the minute. The next thing we need to sort out is our bow tie. Don't want you, because that's a print and cut. This is 2 different sizes. So this presumably folds back on itself. That then wraps around the middle, and those create the 2 tails. So I don't know how this one works, so we'll get rid of that because I don't understand it. We're going to whip this around just so we can see the sizing. So you've got to think that that is obviously half, but I don't think we want the bigger one of the 2. In fact, this is probably a good guide as to size. Okay, let's change that to the blue. This is print and cut. We don't want print and cut. We want just a basic cut. Ah, now it's gone to black, but I want that in the blue. I don't exactly know what paper I want it to be, but I want it to be something fun. Have a little think about whether I want this A5. So I think that looks good. Let's group it all together. And then let's save. And then I want to be sure, just by looking at the cut through Make It, that everything is where it should be. And then we can get on with the actual cutting. Okay, well, I actually don't need this bit because I'm not cutting that out. So let's cancel. I am going to ungroup because it does occur to me I will have a plain white A4 card. I do not need that base in here. So I'm actually going to ungroup it, because if I leave it in there, it's going to be a pain, as you saw. So I'm going to remove that card base, and then I'm going to group this back again. So this is why it's always worth, before you even do anything, is just to look at the mats so that you can make sure that everything is how you want it to be. So there's our jacket, and here's our inner and the bow tie, which may or may not be on the same paper, to be honest. So we can see there's definitely differences there. but we know that they'll be complementary because I've done them both in blue. So you might use pattern paper here and a plain paper there, but you want the colours maybe to complement each other. Okay, let's have a little look at this now to see. Okay, yeah, that's come up better. We know the happy birthday is correct, so that's in the right place. And we've got the bow tie here as well. So that is all fabulous. So that was a bit of effort to sort that out, which is why I will definitely put this one on my website for you guys so you can download it, so you don't have to do all the fiddling around that I just did. Okay, so now obviously what we need to do is get our Cricut sorted and get to cut.